kind of new or something like that. Or however, with these techniques, that means they are trying to defeat other technique approaches. That means so you may find some good words describing the advantage of this paper in around this kind of word. However, these techniques are something like that. And then if you have more time, say, so you just go quick through the novel or new or we propose, and nothing will be found in this part, so you can skip it. And then in this part, you may see we present something like that, novel graph structure once again. So this is a repeat sentence of that part. So the good papers sometimes we repeat the same sentence with the same terminology to impress you that this part is really important. So this is kind of how to say how to say in English? Mind washing. So technical papers actually is advertisement, not the technical. All the technical papers, all the technical documents is advertisement, because so they want to let you understand our idea. Our idea is really good. This is totally same as a way of advertising. Our product is cheap and good, so you should buy it. Our idea is really new and good performance, so you should apply it. They are all same. In that sense, they should keep on the advantages. So if they have, they are proud of one topic, they should repeat that topic from time to time in the abstract, in the introduction, in the last part of the introduction, in the first part of the technical part, in the beginning part of the experiment, in the middle part of the discussion, in the conclusion. They can repeat all the same sentence with slightly different syntax, but the meaning should be same. Otherwise, it's kind of useless advertisement. So, as you may know, so the good way of making selling the product is to repeat the same commercial on the TV programs every day, every hour, from many times. That is a very good way. Of course, that CM should be well organized, should be impressive, but it is also important to repeat, because this kind of repeatedness will let you know this part is really important. So if you see the same sentence, probably they are very eager to show that this graph structure is a very good part of this paper. So you should include this kind of description to summarize the idea of this paper. And then you may see we employ something like that. But unfortunately, this time we fail in finding the good part because we employ the existing method. So this we should skip about that because we don't need to read that. This is not a new part. Then this is the last part of the not the last part. Okay. So definitely in the introduction, the first paragraph is the most important. Then the last paragraph is the second most important ones. So if you have a time, first read the first paragraph and then read the last paragraph. Then you have time, you can read in the middle. So and actually, so this is a good paper. So in the in the last paragraph, they also mention about the second advantages of this paper. So the practical usefulness and flexibility of our approach is to blah blah blah. This is not the first appealing point, but they also want to mention something about this part, so they just insert these sentences in the second important part of the introduction. Then, okay, let's see the background. But so if you want to see the background, what you have to check is that comparison. So the reason of the introducing the background or related work is to compare their ideas and our idea and show the advantage of their new ideas. So that means although this kind of or few approaches or our goal or our approach, this kind of terminology could be the key to understand the essence of the background. Or you may just skip long history of these research areas. And of course, there is always a possibility to quit, to let the readers quit reading. All the important sentences should be in the first part, first 2 or 3 sentences should be found in the first 2 sentences in every section. So you just, if you don't have time, you just first check the 1 or 2 sentences. Then, if it's meaningless, you just look through this kind to the background part to find out this kind of words. But once again, so if you don't know, if you don't need to check this paper is good or not, so you can skip all this part to here. And then, so in the last, so this part is a little bit sometimes different from the background. So sometimes this is conclusion of the background, but sometimes they use this part to introduce the coming technical parts. Or maybe you may find the similar matters at the end of the introduction to show the organization of the rest of the papers. So in that sense, you should check the last part of the background, or you should check the last part of the introduction. And then you may start reading the technical part if you are interested. But if you are very interested in reading the technical part, you should go back to the first part, read all through the document. If you are really interested in this paper. So once again, what I'm talking today is kind of a tricky way of reading the paper, not the ordinary, the best way of reading the paper. So if you want to read, if you want to understand well, you have to go back and read from the beginning. And I'm sure that these papers are really good. You won't waste the time. If you have time, probably the reading this kind of paper will be very helpful, will be intuitive, fruitful to you. So in that sense, so what in the tricky way, you don't need to read all the documents in the technical paper. But if you want to still see something, once again, you just read the first paragraph or first sentence or just 2 sentences, something like that. Once again, because they are always afraid of missing the readers in the middle of reading their reading. So they should always insert the important sentence in the first part of the paragraph. So in that sense, you should check at least the first sentence, at least the first paragraph to grab the idea, outline of the idea. And then